I started tweeting again yesterday.
Oh, nice. How was that?
Not bad. I got a couple good ones. And then I got real bored of the show.
Ooh, I've heard your swallow. Good swallow.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah. Glory. Why are we so good at clapping together?
This is Petals and Pricks with Kelsie and Jurkens, where we talk about me and recap The Bachelor. Jurkens loves it. Kelsie's never seen the show, but she's giving it a try for true friendship. Petals and Pricks with Kelsie and Jurkens.
Jonah Jurkens. Kelsie Huff, did you forget my name? I'm just pulling your finger. My name is Kelsie Huff. That's Jonah Jurkens. We're doing the Petals and Pricks. It's a Bachelor podcast, you guys. Jonah's just not going to talk the whole time. Guess I'm going to talk for 45 minutes. Jonah, tell the people that you're here. I'll tickle you.
Okay, all right. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to see how long. I wanted to see how long you would do that until you kind of broke down.
I went to a tickle. I went straight up to a tickle, and you jumped right out your seat.
You did, yeah, because you really did tickle me.
You went, ooh.
I get really. Do you remember like as a kid, and then you get tickled and you throw up in your mouth?
Nope. That was a harsh tickle. Holy cow.
No, you never tickled so much.
I think pee would be my I'm gonna pee. So it would hit me lower than you.
So if we were brother or sister, it just would have been gross.
Yeah,
for our parents.
First of all, why are we tickling each other all day?
I've tickled my cousin. That sounded gross.
Let's cut that soundbite out forever. New meme.
Just a gift. Just a gift. Just a gift.
So, Jonah, we're doing a little Bachelorette podcast action. It's season 14, episode 6, week 6. We've got an hour and 21 minutes. We're going to recap some of this action. They're in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia.
I don't know if you know this. Virginia's for lovers.
Yeah, we fucking know.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
Well, I think we should warn everybody here up front that if you haven't watched our show, listened to us before.
Yeah.
I am a Bachelor lover. You're kind of a skeptic.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
At times.
No, I'm not a fan of it. We can say it.
Okay.
We can declare. So now you guys are all caught up.
So now you guys are gonna have your the two little devils on your shoulder when you watch the show.
Yeah, two devils. There's no angel.
It's an angel and devil. Yeah.
No, in this podcast, I think you've nailed it.
No, you have like the devil, then I have like what a little devil.
Oh, you're like a cute devil, and I'm just like, Satan.
Yeah, that guy seems fun. I mean, he's not good for society, but he's a great guy.
So yeah, like he should be in jail, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know when you have like a fun kind of I was gonna say hedonistic night, but that's not a good thing. Like when you have like a fun kind of that's kind of
hedonistic. That's a great word.
I was a fun little boy last night.
When you're doing it now, if you're listening to the podcast and not watching our YouTube channel, Jonah's just doing all neck work on this.
I think people could feel that.
Sassy peacock.
You could hear me doing that. You know when you're like,
your bones.
Oh God, are you winking right now? You're like, I am.
We could hear your wink. So they're doing hedonistic love.
No, I don't like that. That just sounds gross.
So they're in Virginia where the love is. Get a one-on-one with Jason.
Is that really a thing?
I mean, they're hitting it hard.
I feel like
I
think we found out this week that Virginia, the commerce of Virginia, is that a thing? The travel,
commerce? Like cash.
The travel.
Jonah's having a stroke.
I think I did. Like people are like, we could hear that happening. Yeah. No, I feel like the travel committee of Virginia.
Like the tourism guide?
Yeah, produced this show.
Oh, I think that's what they all did.
It was incredible.
This
has seen more than most.
Well, they did have a lot of love everywhere. As far as signage, there was a lot of lit up signs about love. Everybody was talking about love.
I think they were focusing too much on look how much history is here. Because every time that happened, I fell asleep.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I did write at one point, I was like, how many field trips were canceled for the show?
I know. You know, my kids were finally like, really got canceled? I'm so excited.
I was going to hang out with Lincoln, but...
Did you ever have a field trip you canceled you were excited for?
No. Once we committed to a field trip, Jonah, we went. Yeah,
I took
but I didn't have a
advanced
fancy
physics in high school.
Okay.
And the whole reason you took the class was one, because you're smart.
Sure.
No, it was the easy
Hands
class.
down.
It was the easy advanced.
I mean, advanced
class.
is in the title.
Yeah, but it was like it was the only advanced class that wasn't an AP class, so like you wouldn't get a college credit for it.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was for dum-dums who wanted to seem like they were smart. Because guess what happens? At the end of it, you'd go to Six Flags Great America.
Oh, they smelled out the dum-dums.
Yeah, and then you would
throwing them popcorn at the circus.
And then you had to do certain things to figure it out. The year that I got it, they were like, we're canceling the field trip.
Oh, no.
And all us bad kids got real upset.
Yeah, so what did you do? Just like, hey, we're going to show you how to physically burn the school down.
I took a shit in someone's box.
You did not.
What box? I don't know. They still haven't found it.
Do you mean locker?
Oh, yes. I meant. Well, I went to
the metal box with the lucky lock.
I went to a kind of a poor high school, so
we
just had boxes.
No, you did like a trade school thing too, right? Didn't you do like
No.
I thought for half of the school we'd had this conversation before. Like you went and you
I went to
worked.
alternative school for 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was like when you worked, right?
Yeah.
I
Well, a lot
remember.
of high schools do that, but a lot of high schools do like the work release.
They did that.
The work release.
Yeah. Like jail.
Yeah, like jail. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Check in the morning, get check in at night, and then go work. Yeah.
3 meals a day, square meal.
Yeah, square. Yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, they had that at my school too. Yeah. So we have a lot of history. We have a great debate coming up where they put on some blue suits and chat. We have some going oyster shucking with Leo. And then we have the Chris, a.k.a. cocaine breakdown. I want to stop before we get to that and just say, Jonah, you were right.
Breakdown. Yeah.
There
This
was
guy
a moment.
is.
Well, not only on your cocaine thing, but
where
there was
he's
a
like,
moment
like he's doing that thing.
where, like, you, I think you said this before. I mean, you say this about a lot of people, but I think you really hit it. He did say he lost 100 pounds. He is a fat kid.
Oh, yeah. You could see that. Once he said that,
Yeah, he said it, and I was like, Jonah called it.
you could feel that.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I lost 100 pounds. That's 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a kid or whatever.
He constantly needs attention, and then nothing's ever going to work out for him.
Mm-hmm.
When did it, I couldn't figure out the timeline on when he lost that. It seemed like he lost it like later on in his years.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll call him up, except for if we have him on the podcast, he'll just punch us in the face because he is aggressive.
Well, I'll just dangle a little pack of powder around him.
Oh yeah,
He'll be
yeah.
happy.
You gotta be careful with that powder though.
Yeah.
That powder can make you crazy.
He's like, I hear you guys do hedonistic stuff here, huh? I'm like, no, that was one line that I said that I instantly regretted.
Did you say line?
Yeah. No. I don't know if this is gonna work out. I think we might bump you off of here.
Oh, bump?
Did you say bump?
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's it. Let's break this episode down. Now, Jonah, you were like, kind of not the most exciting episode for you.
No.
You were not.
Well, that was just there.
It was just there.
I think there's moments that I like that we'll talk about.
Okay.
So I want to talk about this Chris thing more. He said he weighed 300 pounds.
I just to be fair, to be totally honest,
Yeah.
I was listening and taking notes and trying not to fall asleep. I heard him say, I lost 100. So I don't know what that means, where he was.
That's what he said. He said he lost 100, but he also said he was like 300 pounds. So I was trying to figure this out because I think he's clearly exaggerating probably how fat he really was.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have the body type of a person that used to be fat.
that you're really breaking this down.
But
As
he doesn't
somebody
have
who
the
used to
body-
train people, you're like a
He
trainer.
doesn't have the body type of a person that used to be fat, does he?
I don't know. I mean, everybody has a skeleton.
I just don't think your body can bounce back. I wonder how long it took him to lose that weight. How much cocaine do you think he had to do?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah,
Cocaine
yeah.
and protein.
Yeah. What a combination.
What a combo.
You know what? Cocaine, not a macro. I got to tell you.
Not a macro.
you can't. You should track that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was going off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
And now I don't know. Here's the other thing, Jonah. And I know
Rails
that
is
you
right.
Rails is right. Wink. I don't know how you feel about this because I know that I'm a bit more of somebody who likes to be behind the curtain, and you're somebody who likes the wonder of the magic of not just this show, but a lot of reality TV shows.
Yeah.
You want to believe that it's just like happening and it's real people, and I have a different view. I feel at some point during the show, they chose him to be the bad guy because he pushed so fast in that direction.
I think
You're like, who's the villain? You know how they like to do it.
I feel that they definitely manipulate. I think he's just easily manipulated. So I think that I don't deny that. I don't deny that they probably through the casting people when they interview, or the producers when they interview them or do those talking head things, that I think they definitely kind of push them towards like, well, what do you think about this person? Or, because having friends that have been on reality shows, that I know there's one thing that they are like, they clearly sometimes are like, so what do you think? Like, like in
Leading questions.
Leading questions. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
And I think they have a bit more of a structure of like, hey, we're gonna try to push this person by what they've given us and what we've seen. The couple of them, like, okay, this guy's gonna crack under pressure.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be an intense villain.
And I feel like they definitely did some leading questions for Becca too, to her to make some like to kind of come up with her own things by herself.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Some stuff she was saying, as in like, oh, I heard this, or I've been told this or that. It just seems like the people are like, well, what do you think about this person saying this about Chris to her? Do you know what I mean? Where she's like, what
You didn't
what is
think
that?
that organically came up in conversation with the dudes. You're thinking that
I think
like
both.
producer. Yeah.
What do you? That's what I felt. I don't know.
I love that we're talking
Yeah.
like very therapy and how they are.
Yeah.
The vibe, no matter what anybody in that house is saying, what is happening behind closed doors, the vibe he is giving to her face, I would have been like, bye-bye 1,000 years ago. He's like, listen, what I want for us,
So what exactly are you saying?
What are you exactly saying? Yeah. What? It's so acute. I'm like, you know what? we're out.
Yeah.
Like, nobody talks to me this way. Like,
Yeah.
I know how to respect a woman. You listen to me. That is a contradictory statement.
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
He has a lot of issues.
He's got some anger, man.
He's got some
At least
insecurities.
the character that he's giving us.
To me, it seems like
He's giving
all
us some
fat
anger.
kid insecurities.
Well, he wants to control stuff,
Right.
and he's just a terrible listener, and a little bit of an egomaniac, and a little bit of that gaslighty
I
stuff.
don't think
And
it's
I know,
ego. I think it's his insecurity.
but if you have an insecurity, your ego brain
Okay.
is taking over.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's all about you and me. And if you know those insecure folks, we have a lot of them in our stand-up community.
Yeah.
They cannot see outside of themselves and their own neuroses, and they're assholes.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're the victim; they are now the bully.
Yeah.
At one point in their life, they might have felt like an outsider and small,
Right.
or fat. You know what I mean? Whatever. You might
Yeah.
have felt bullied, and because of that, you can 100% do a turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy became the bully. At least the face he's presenting us on TV.
I would say
I can stop
to
saying that, right?
paint myself. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. I would say
Thanks
to paint
for that.
myself. You're welcome. To paint myself in a bad light. I think when I first lost all the weight too, when I started getting kind of attention from like, whatever. I think I definitely.
Did you just quote something but didn't
I
say
was
it?
going to quote something, but then I'm like, don't say that.
Women? You were getting attention from women?
Well,
and
no, just
men?
like from people.
From people.
Like, back where you felt like you're being accepted again.
Yeah.
I think I definitely harnessed a lot of that
Well, I think people don't talk about the
ego
emotional.
and started putting other people down because I was put so much down. I definitely did that. There was a streak, an initial skinnier kid streak, mean streak I had, which I've lost. But I hope.
I don't think that you're alone.
It's still there, motherfucker.
I was waiting for it to come out.
Yeah.
I don't think you're alone. I think a lot of people, they feel like powerless.
Yeah.
And it is very scary to feel powerless. So if they get an inkling
like
of
you don't
power,
wanna lose that again.
You don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
And so you often see those are the people that become bullies. Like you see people who are beaten at home, for example.
Yeah.
They're the bullies at school, right?
Yes.
You get a little bit of power and you go a little
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a very strong person and somebody who can like grow out of it or
Yeah.
never have it, because powerlessness is a scary thing.
Yes.
But usually what happens is you take it out on the other people in your life. Most people are taking it out on women, on children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On weaker, if that's what we're calling people,
Yeah.
like in your school, other.
And I feel like too, he was
Outsiders.
taken out. I think also like being an ex-fat kid, and then also being put in this situation where you are surrounded by very attractive men and outgoing, and they have a lot of things going for them. That's just gotta, like we saw that with Jordan too.
You got to squeeze. It squeezes their insecurities.
Yeah,
a
because
little
and also because like that fight that we saw. I mean, I don't know what exactly was edited out of it, but like Lincoln seemed like he was just trying to give him some advice as in calming down.
bit. Yeah.
When he's just like, "Hey man, don't worry about that. You just got to worry about this and just do this one." He goes, "What the fuck are you supposed to talk to me, man?
Yeah.
I'll bury you in those." You're like, "Whoa!" And then he started saying like, "Don't come at me. I'll put you down." Where he was like started like almost physically threatening Lincoln. I'm like, Lincoln. Well, one, he's very unathletic, so I wouldn't be surprised if he would get beat up.
But
he's huge.
He's got shoulder power,
Yeah.
at least.
He's got a very nice chest.
Yeah, and I think here's the other thing is, again, if you're so insecure and you're so into your own ego or lack of, meaning you haven't, you're
Yeah.
focused on that, you are blinded by it.
Yeah.
You can't see, because I do think you're right, that very awkward confrontation didn't start out, in my opinion, cruel.
No.
But he took it there.
He took it there.
And then this is what happens when you get two people with ego
Yeah.
and people not listening. You just bash heads, and
Yeah.
you're never gonna. I mean, that's how fucking wars and shit start.
Yeah,
You know,
and
like,
Lincoln's also very emotional. We've seen him
and he's
be
like,
emotional.
Yeah, a second, like this is what I feel like with testosterone in general becomes problematic. You just keep puffing up, and then
Yeah.
nobody's actually having a conversation.
Yeah.
You're just like swinging big dicks in a room.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're like, I'm just walking out. I'm walking out. Like, go destroy yourselves
Yeah.
because you're acting crazy.
I love the conversations they have. I love these conversations that are happening in the show a lot, but also just in general when like you're kind of coming at each other, and then you both say, "Yeah, I'm fucking done with you anyways," and then you're trying to have the last comment. You're like, "Yeah, man, you better not come against me because you're gonna be put down." Like, but they're like,
Yeah.
they're fixing their
I
own
love
things.
that you like just constantly
Yeah.
pulling on your dong.
No, put on my shorts because like they always like pull on shorts, or like Chris always pulls on his like shirt, kind of like, I'm done with this, like zip up your zippy, or like
It's
like
very,
kind of like put something down, or like you move something, like yeah, don't fucking worry about me, buddy.
Yeah, it's energy. It's
I
that
love
energy.
it. Yeah. If
It reminds me of like Bada Bing. Come
Yeah.
on, come on, the comedian with the come
What?
on with the cigarette.
I'm gonna keep fucking. What are you talking
You
about?
know who it is.
Oh, Dice Clay?
Dice Clay.
Yeah.
There's that
Hey,
energy of like,
hey,
yeah, you've got
hey.
like, you're constantly moving
Yeah.
your shoulders.
Yeah.
You're constantly that energy
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where it feels like a pacing lion.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why if I was on the opposite couch, I would have started laughing so hard.
Yeah.
When guys act like that, it makes me laugh so hard.
You just crack up.
When they get all alpha, I hate when guys get like that with me.
Yeah. They just kind of like puff, puff, puff.
Yeah, or just where it's just like silly, where you're like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, why? I'm just a nice little boy.
I'm just a tiny little cute devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, I'm just a good little boy here.
That's what I love when they cut to Will's, because he's just constantly.
Yeah,
Looks like
it's
he's
just
like he's just like
what
a
is going on?
constant sigh.
Yeah. Or he's like, what the fuck is going
Just
on
an eye
here?
roll. He's like shaking his head, like or
Yeah.
just like rubbing his face. He's like, oh.
Or like we
this
cut to
shit
Leo
again.
and he has that thing with his lips where he looks like he goes, ooh.
Oh, we got some more Leo in this one.
Whoopsie woosies.
Whoopsies, whoopsies.
I know.
Holla, holla.
I kind of like Leo more when he was more kind of like what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know, but you got some
mysterious.
Oh yeah.
I liked more mysterious Leo.
Yeah, I like that Leo actually seemed to listen though. You know, I'm a sucker for somebody who just like shuts the fuck up.
That's why I'm thinking Jason's really taking the Jason, right?
Are you talking about my Jason?
No,
or
I'm talking
Jason?
about Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about your husband now in the show where we're talking about.
You made a very like strange pause, like I was supposed to know what was going on.
Oh.
Did you have another stroke?
Yeah, what if I was like, yeah, I just think like, Jason's making some wrong decisions out of all the place.
I was like, did you say that out loud? It's very hurtful.
No, I would say I think this is Jason's coming out party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
You
He
are
wants to
very
work too.
adorable. You made me cry with that song. Why would you do that to me?
And pomade. You're rocking that pomade, Wall Street. You're
You gotta
still
fix
walking that
that.
pomade.
I also wrote down when
I
they.
don't like the pomade
I don't
at
like the
all.
pomade at
You hate
all.
his hair so much.
I hate his.
Jonah.
I hate his whole aura.
Oh, I
Until
love
he
that
started
you're
talking, and then I'm like, I like this guy.
Yeah. Jonah.
I just feel like he's constantly like, like when your mom's like, "Don't make that face; it'll stick." Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I feel like his nervous face is a little like.
Well, no. I feel like it was like it's like don't dress up as the American Psycho guy because it'll stick, and he's like, it won't stick, and then he
And it
looks like
stuck.
that now. Yeah, it's stuck.
He's like, I kind of like it.
Yeah, like when you like
it.
dye your hair for like a costume, and you're like, shit, it's gonna be like this for a while.
Yeah.
He's
Or
like,
you start to
shit,
really
my hair is
like it.
gonna be like this for a while.
To be fair, I have had some Halloween costumes where the outfits have just come into my wardrobe, which
Are
is
you
also a
serious?
Simpsons reference.
Is it really?
But it's true. Like it was
Like
Selma.
Polly Pocket.
You know, it was like Selma or one, like a weird shirt or whatever. I'm like, I think I could wear
Did you
this
say
every day.
Selma Hayek?
No, from The Simpsons.
Oh.
The sisters. I don't know why I got so mad at you for not knowing that.
You dress up as the sisters from
Okay.
The Simpsons,
You guys,
and that
sorry,
stuck
Nancy.
in your.
Let me break this down. It is a reference. So that happened on The Simpsons. One of Marge's
What's the show
sisters.
called?
The Simpsons.
Yeah, you said symptoms.
Oh, well, I'm getting all flustered now.
I didn't see that.
Can we move on, Jonah?
So what's your costume idea that ended up sticking?
It was just like a shirt.
Like a hanging Chad?
No, that's a stupid costume.
That's
idea.
How I Met Your Mother reference.
Oh, I don't watch the show. Let's move on because I'm bored now.
Because you're just embarrassed about admitting it.
No, I just think it's boring. Virginia's for lovers. We really get it. We get it. You nailed down that license plate tagline.
About Jason. So, right, he looks like a banker.
Yeah.
We've discussed this.
Yeah, we discussed this,
Also, when
yeah.
I said 29, I was like, get the fuck out of here. You're 29?
You think he looks older than 29?
He has like ambiguous age.
Which would be good.
Where he could be like, I'm 25. You're like, I could see that. Or he's like, I'm 42. You're like, I could see that too.
Yeah, lucky. Those are the actors that make it the longest.
Yeah, they don't age.
Yeah.
Who do you think's aged the worst? Man, when I saw George Clooney on the David Letterman thing on Netflix, oof my goof.
Really?
Not oof my goof, but
But he was kind of always seemingly 40 for a really long time.
yeah, but he doesn't seem like that anymore.
Yeah, I think sometimes you click over. I think like
I don't like
character
this.
actors.
Getting in your 30s is sad because you start seeing age.
Our cells are all dying, Jonah.
I know, it's just
Slowly
sad.
but surely.
It's just sad when you look at Brad Pitt. You're like, what?
Well, you can't stay that way forever.
He could.
No, he can't.
Paul Rudd is.
Paul Rudd. Yeah, yeah.
Paul Rudd is.
But it'll change. I mean,
It's
age
never gonna
happens to
change on him.
everybody. It
Yeah,
just does,
I know.
Jonah.
You know what? Sometimes age is nothing but a number.
That's very true. I think character actors are really good at that. Like Robert Duvall, who's much older now.
Yeah.
But like from Boo Radley on to like,
Yeah.
I thought he was always 42.
I think it's the
for,
people
like,
that lose their
70
hair at an
years.
early age.
Yeah, if you that's what I'm saying. Like, well, for men, if
Joe
you always,
Paglioni.
yeah, Joey Pants, yeah,
Yeah, he's
If-
dead now, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know. Oh gosh,
Okay.
sad days.
Yeah.
But yeah, for men, different story for women. Let's not get into it because it makes me mad, and we have a lot to get through, and I don't want to get mad too early.
I'd say Meryl Streep kind of kept her age pretty well.
For women, it's totally different. If you're a man and you like lose your hair, like you said,
Yeah.
you can be like look distinguished and age, and you can like have a career for 40 years.
Yeah.
Women, you turn 40, they have a whole thing about it. You're like dead. You're dead in Hollywood. There's a
Yeah.
couple. There's like a handful of women that can like work after 40.
Okay.
It's bullshit. But I think Robert Duvall is one of them.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. If you look older, younger,
Yeah.
you can
Stay power. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Harrison, he'll turn one day.
I don't know, man.
He'll
Oh,
turn.
you know what's funny? Going back to the show, sorry, Nancy, is that man, when him and Becca were talking, he fucking hated talking to Ari. He hated. I've never seen somebody. He's so like invested in Becca when he talks to her. He like listens and he like laughs at the things she says and all that. Like when Ari would talk to Chris would just start doing his taxes.
No, you really. I never saw it.
You didn't.
I never saw it.
Because I was like, Chris is like really.
Not into him.
I would almost say the way he talks to Becca, I'd be like, does he have a crush on Becca?
I didn't see it, Jonah.
Or he like looks at her
I'll
like
look
a
at
little,
it next
little
time.
sister. I think he looks at all these bachelorettes as little sisters.
You got a whole narrative in your brain.
I think so,
I think he
too.
looks at everybody. You ever see that with
Like
dollar signs?
Yeah.
You ever see that? You ever watch 30 Rock with Jack Donaghy? It shows you like their points of view in one episode.
Okay.
And all he sees is like just like money,
Yeah.
money. Like a walking catalog.
Yeah.
That's how I think. Chris
No,
Harrison
I think,
sees
but with
people.
women, it's different.
I don't know. Can we talk about Virginia Hotel before?
We can
There
talk
is
about anything you wanna talk
an
about.
Ari situation where they do stay at the Quirk Hotel, and I was like, is that an Ari burn? Because he can't say quirky.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, noise.
Yeah.
I really loved that.
And also, Chris is pointing at it and then staring right in the camera.
You mentioned a thing about like when Becca and Chris were talking. He was talking about the wedding magazines.
Yeah.
She did let out a little like behind the scenes. She's like, yeah, you were looking at wedding magazines on the plane. She's like, I didn't buy those for myself. And
Yeah.
I thought in his brain, he was like,
Shut
don't
the
you
fuck up. You shut your fucking mouth. Yeah.
like you don't show the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like I didn't buy those. Like your people bought those for me for the shot. I love that.
I don't think for the shot. I think it's just get in her brain about weddings. That'd be funny if they shot those themselves and every single model looked exactly like her.
Yeah, or they just did
Like
the old school
subconsciously?
thing, like they just cut out her face and taped her
yeah,
on and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
It's like how my mom does like lose weight
Yeah.
things. She'll like put a model on the fridge and tape her face.
Oh my god! Don't admit that. I hope your mom doesn't listen to
I'm
this.
sure I've done it too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I
terrible.
would cut out pictures of men with their shirts off and put it on my fridge.
Would you to be like
Ryan
motivational?
Reynolds and
Right, well, of course,
because
you
Blade Trinity.
you love Ryan.
He got so
Reynolds.
jacked in that movie.
Oh,
He had like
man.
a 15-pack.
That's insane. So Leo has a thing where he talks about the you know how they have puns. This is one of the Leo things. Listen, I like Leo, but I wish they would have cut this out. They're like, Virginia birthed a nation, and this is going to birth our relationship. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I screamed no into
He's
my
like,
phone.
you know what? I just hope that nobody cuts off the connection that he's like, you get it because of the, yeah, you get it.
I don't get it.
Oh, because of the umbilical cord.
Oh, birthing.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to explain the puns, Jonah.
Well, that was the joke. Is that Leo's like, you know, because who had that? Garrett had one of those moments too.
Yeah.
It was really funny. He was Richmond, Virginia is a lot like it's a lot like you get like a big city feel, but then you're like you're also
You're
just
in
like a small
you're
town
in a town,
too.
you're in a
Yeah, I was like Garrett, oh bud.
Garrett,
He was
you
like
and your
so
toothy
excited.
smile.
You know how he does that like whole. He's like Richmond, Virginia. It's awesome because it's like a big city feel, but then also it's like
You didn't know all this.
yeah, it's yeah,
You
yeah.
can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm like, oh, Gare Bear.
Oh, Care Bear.
Yeah. That's one thing I do miss about Jordan, when he would just go until he found it.
Yeah, he would. He would commit to a sentence. He had no idea where it was
Yeah.
going, but really tried to find it.
I
in
liked
the
when he
end.
finally did find it, and you could tell a little bit in his eye. He's like, I got it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, like a little wink happened.
Dumb and Dumber. So there's Garrett does have a. This is when we get to the fight that we talked about, the Chris and Lincoln and him
Yeah.
admitting. Garrett did have like a Dumb and Dumber reference. He's like,
goes-
there's Dumb and Dumber. I'm not sure which one's
Yeah,
which.
which one's which? And I was like, well, they're both dumb.
They're
bud.
both having dumb moments.
Yeah.
That is for sure. So we go to can we go to the Jason, because we talked about the fight. Anything else you want to say about the Chris and Lincoln debacle before we get to the Jason and Becca one-on-one?
No.
Okay.
I wish there's. Okay, yeah. What did he say? That was a thing that would keep getting bleeped out. A fat fuck.
I don't know.
Because then the thing is also, by the way,
I don't think so, because I watched it with captions.
yeah, but it
Unless they
bleeps it out.
the whole-
They bleeped it out.
That's true. Now that I think about it, they gray out the word.
They
Why didn't they just not put the word?
wait, when you have it on
Hulu, if you watch it on Hulu,
it's like blurry.
it's this blurry.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
And there was one. Oh no, no.
my
And there was
God,
one
that's
when
my-
Chris walked out of Becca. Finally, he said, "This is." It just had a line. But I swear, I'm gonna double check to see if I'm right. I swear they blurred out words at one point.
I hope
I
that's
may
a
be
real
making
thing.
that up. I'll check. Prickhead Nation, don't you worry. I'll check.
Oh my God. Well, okay, so
I don't know what they were saying.
Because then Chris then starts going. How much do you think Chris Harrison hates the fact that this guy's name's Chris too?
I don't know. Probably hates it that anybody shares his name.
I know,
with him.
probably. And shares kisses with Becca.
He's like, I trademarked this name and the
You
smooches.
motherfuckers. Yeah, because they kept like, and then Chris started saying like, "Oh, you stop body shaming me." It's
Yeah.
like, shut up.
I know.
You're a boy,
Well, it's also just like this
and
is the
your
thing.
body's nice.
The thing is, like, yeah, he's also just pulling for things, and that's the thing I
Yeah.
keep talking about. Gaslighting is when you
It's
switch it
desperate.
on people.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's not my fault. You're the one that's wrong for this many reasons. You,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what that kind of stuff is.
Yeah.
It's like you're an asshole right now.
Yeah.
Oh, your body. Like you try to reverse it so you make the other person feel like shit.
Yeah.
It's like no, you're in the wrong, buddy. You're
Yeah.
in the wrong.
He's trying to body shame me, and then I think even Lincoln was like, "Well, I can't do the accent," but it's just like, what do you? I feel like every time Lincoln talks, I just feel like I'm watching the beginning of a Guy Ritchie film. I'm just like, what the fuck is he saying? Because I have to get used to his accent, and then once I do, I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's why closed captions help me. Just because I also think other people are saying things in the room sometimes.
Does it say British accent in
No,
parentheses?
it doesn't. No,
and
it
that
doesn't. Yeah. Sometimes it helps me out just
Yeah.
because sometimes everybody's like catty, and
Yeah.
I can't quite hear what's going on.
Okay.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
I also Guy Ritchie movies. I put the subtitles on too.
Oh, do you
'cause
really?
It helps me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
power through it.
learning
I'm
a
like,
lot.
I'm gonna figure this out.
Also, sometimes I'm like, I feel like an old grandma. I'm like, oh, that's the slang. Interesting. I'm like a big.
I'm gonna use that.
I'm like a big nerd.
Crikey.
So the trolley, there are other people. So Jason and Becca's date, they're one-on-one. They kind of go and explore the town. They go on the trolley. There are other people on the trolley. Now, I'm assuming it's crew, but what if it was just somebody who accidentally got on the trolley?
Yeah, like what?
That would be like, I
What
just
is
want to go to work.
Yeah. Where are you taking me? Also, in all the background shots, there's always a cop on the street. Did they block off those streets to shoot that show?
Maybe. I would assume so.
I feel like the mayor of
Well, the governor shows
the
up.
governor was just like, whatever you need, we'll do it.
Yeah.
whatever you need.
Because I
Whatever you
do
need.
feel like they were trying
City
to
Hall?
get-
Do you want City Hall? And even Leo made fun of it. He was like, yeah, I guess they're bringing out the red carpet for us here. This is like,
Was he making fun of it? I didn't know.
he was making
He made.
This is City Hall.
Yeah. There was red carpet though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there really was a red carpet
he
on the
was being-
stairs.
oh.
You just like wink.
I think it was like a double.
A double wink wink.
Yeah.
So they go to a church, they go to Sugar Donuts. So they're doing all these things kind of montagey. It seemed like they actually had a lot of stuff going on in the date that we just got snapshots of. And they go to the Poe Museum. They love the
Oh my
Gothic
God.
on Happy Hour. It cracked me up. Just like a bunch of theater nerds being like, life is terrible. Let's dance together.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm into it, man. I think it's hilarious.
It's just the dark as the night is white.
Edgar Allan Poe stuff. And like,
And I
this
love
is the
when
thing.
she was like, I need a kiss to wake me up.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right.
I guess we're just doing this. It's cheeser,
Yeah,
right?
smooch.
It's super cheeser. But I think he did the right thing. It's sort of like what I would do if I was like forced in a situation. I was like, this is uncomfortable. He just goofed around.
Yeah.
Like he was doing the splits and doing the dances.
Oh,
He's like,
man,
I'm not goth. I don't fit in here.
Yeah.
I'll just goof around.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what you would do?
I think I heard him split his sack in the splits.
Shit.
There was something.
This far as I could go. This far as I could go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
They quickly go back
See,
to
this
the
is
house.
this
Do
is
you
the
care
thing
about
too.
that?
How did you feel about watching all that?
What do you mean?
Because like back in the beginning, what did she say? She said something. She goes, "There's something exciting about historical towns." I aloud said, "Like fucking what?"
Oh, you don't like it? Sometimes I like
it's so
it.
boring.
It all depends on my mood, right?
Really?
Because I'll walk around. I did like that Boston. You walk around like the whole trail.
I did that too as a kid, and I hated it.
Yeah, but as an adult, have you ever done it as an adult?
I hate it even more.
Well, maybe you just don't like learning.
It's probably that too.
Just like learning's stupid. But
I remember like my stepmom, my Russian stepmom, who I hate, but when she came to Chicago the first time, and I lived there for probably a year already, and then she wanted to like see Chicago or whatever, so I was like, yeah, we'll go on a walk or whatever, and I lived downtown, and then she was like, what's this building? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And she's like, where's this at? I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And she like wanted me to like show her.
She wanted to give it a tour.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. I performed there. Here's a bar. this food's good here. I don't know.
Here's the grocery store. I
Yeah.
like this post office.
She's like, let's go to this museum. I'm like, why?
Yeah. So I lived downtown, and there was like free museum days. Like when I was in school.
Yeah.
So I went to school, and I lived in the Roosevelt dorms, even though I didn't go there. It doesn't matter. And I loved walking around the art institute and stuff. Like it's very like relaxing.
I like the children's museum because it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, and you get to do the bike thing with your hands, and you move a certain way if you spin around. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I wish that was socially acceptable as a 35-year-old man.
I think you could make it work.
I'd have so much fun. And then I had the little thing where you make the tornado. I'm like, come on, I just made a tornado.
Yeah.
Hey.
So you like an interactive. Have you ever been to the Museum of Science and Industry?
Yes, that museum's awesome.
See, you like an interactive.
Because
You
I'm
don't
going
wanna-
in things. I'm
Yeah.
touching things.
Yeah.
I'm moving things.
You're an interactive learner. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. If you like, sometimes there are people who aren't interested in like looking at a painting. You feel like, oh, stuffy. What
Yeah.
am I learning here? You gotta like touch things and move
Yeah.
things. It's just a different way to learn, Jonah.
I like the thing at the end where they're like, that's how they make electricity. I'm like, I just learned something.
Like Tesla.
You
forever.
tricked me.
You tricked me into learning. Yeah. So I get it. That wouldn't be an ideal date for you. You would need an interactive kind of fun.
I don't feel like it'd be an ideal date for anybody I'd be interested in dating.
Yeah. Well, again, like
Yeah.
you know what you like.
Which is fine. I mean,
But if
I'm
you
not
were
wrong.
stuck
You're not
there-
wrong.
Yeah. So if you were on the show though, and you were stuck there, and you had like a librarian-esque date,
See,
and
I
you
really
have to make it fun. Like you
Lib-
can't like if you're on the show, you can't be like, listen, I really like skydiving. Let's go there. You have no control. You have to go where
Yeah,
they tell you. So if
right.
they're like, hey, we're gonna go to this museum.
Yeah, like Jason's
we're
just
gonna
kind of
go
making the most.
He's making the most of it. Yeah. You making like I think that you would be fine.
Yeah, I'd be fine, but
be
I'd also
fine.
be the one where they're like, "Come on, John, let's just kind of like enjoy what we're doing." I'm like, "What about this book, right?
Yeah.
What if I turn it like this?"
Yeah, you'd be
Like, shut up.
You'd be a clown. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a clown at the library.
And then people come up and be like, "Hey, I don't know who your on the spectrum friend is, but you gotta ask him to leave."
He is an interactive learner. He
Yeah.
likes to touch stuff.
But I
and
do
smell
like
stuff.
zoos, and I like I know Katie and I once went to Shed Aquarium. That was a lot of fun. Saw some dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the beluga whale.
Yeah,
I love her.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their things. There's no judgments. But I'm just saying.
There's always judgment.
the historical town is probably not for you, is what you're saying. What about like when people like dress up and reenact? Do you have fun with them, or are you like?
I feel
uncomfortable?
bad for their careers.
Yeah. Well, don't speak it out loud because who knows? We're not that
I
far
know,
from
I know.
dressing up like Lincoln.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was sad.
But they're making cash and they look like they're having fun.
Well, that one guy looked like Lincoln, and the other guy did not look like anything.
George Washington.
He didn't look like George Washington.
I mean, he had the
I've seen
wig.
pictures.
He had the wig. He had the.
It wasn't white.
Well, it was white-ish. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't like when
yeah.
people live in the bit too much.
Some people are. Like, have you ever been? I've never been to Ren Fair, which is so weird because Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, I always wanted
or
to.
like medieval times. I've been in medieval times, but yeah, when people are so committed to it, I just want to like tickle them.
Yeah.
I just want
come on.
I just want to break it. But I feel like that's commitment. Or like, do you ever go to Fright Fest at Great America? Those people were committed to being scary.
Oh
AF.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to like a historically like a famous
Like a running like old Westy town, and people.
Yeah.
Are, no, I've
can't-
not.
I think I went to Tombstone once. It was like fun, but it's just like even as a kid, I'm just like, come on,
just,
you're probably a mechanic when you don't do this. What are you doing here?
You see, that's how
You
I
have
feel
kids.
about Jonah. We just cracked the code. That's how I feel about reality TV. Is how you feel about that.
Really?
You can't see. You see the reality. We just had a breakthrough.
No, we
America.
didn't. No, because this is real.
No. But you know how you feel?
Yeah.
Because you're always wondering how people feel.
Yeah.
You know how I feel now.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
How you felt in Tombstone.
You
is
know
how
what? I
felt.
think your idea is stupid. Okay, I'm
Jonah,
kidding, I'm
your
kidding.
I know your eyeballs say differently. Your mouth says
No,
one
but this
thing.
is because these are people looking for love.
I get it, but you know what I'm talking about. Like it's hard for you to not see their like underbelly. Jonah,
Like a
like a kitty cat. Meow meow meow.
Yeah.
Jason's friends in town. How do you feel about that?
Oh man,
He loved it.
he loved it. I don't like the idea of crying when you see your friends.
He must have been having a harder time than we thought.
I think so. He must have been mentioning that or something because Becca
how would
seemed
she
like
know?
how would she know that that's something that would be
Yeah.
important? I would say like I don't know, like okay, if I was dating a girl, I don't know if is it a gender difference then?
I don't know. What do you mean?
I just feel like for her, if I would have been like, if like some girl like brought my friends in, and I was like, my buddies, my friends, and I started crying, I feel like the girl would be like, oh, I made a mistake.
Yeah, unless that you're saying we don't know the
We don't
story
know.
because she clearly or somebody, the producer, somebody knew that would have been an impactful moment on TV and for him personally. Probably.
I just feel like when you have like codependent friends, I think that's not a very good thing.
Yeah, although Becca didn't seem that way. I mean, she was saying my friends, she was seeming like, oh my, this is similar
But
to
she's
my
the same
friends.
way. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So maybe it was like a.
And I did like that she mentioned the fact that they should, like when you're dating somebody, your friends kind of should
They could hang together. Like,
yes,
they merge.
which I like.
Yeah. So I didn't mind it, but I was like, when I saw him get so emotional, I was like, oh man, maybe he like misses his family more than he's letting on. It did strike me as odd, but maybe it's because you and I both like to shove our emotions down.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. You're like, what? Huh? Clown.
I tell you how that makes me feel, but I don't feel anything.
I don't have those feelings.
Do you, wait, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So you and Jason, your husband,
Yeah.
Do you guys have, when you first started dating, did like his friends and your friends kind of like mix together well? Or you guys keep them separate a little bit?
There are a couple of friends that we just kind of have as individuals, but I was friends with him because we were all friends together.
Yeah, that's right.
So we all kind of had friends.
Yeah.
You know, we were part of the same friend circle.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, we did have friends
And
together.
then one time you and Jason were hanging out, and then he said like you're at a party and you guys are kind of like shoulder to shoulder, and then he just kind of said like a comment to you, and then you're like, what's your name again? Yeah, like that. And that's how it slowly kind of.
Are you trying to make our meet cute happen?
Yeah. Yeah. Where it's at that moment where you're like, I've seen you a while, but all of a sudden you're like, hey, you kind of seem different to me today.
Yeah, no, that happened. Well, as far as like friendship goes, so I was dating his friend first.
Yes.
And we were like, his car broke down. So we were very close to Jason's apartment. So the friend went to fix the car who I was dating at the time. And he was gone for like 4 hours, 5 hours.
No.
And Jason's not a chatter. Like and he was like, in retrospect, afterwards, like I was really nervous because I like had to entertain you. I didn't know you that well. I mean, I knew you from a friend circle, but like we never, you know how you have friends but you don't hang out one-on-one?
Yeah.
It's like, so I had to hang out with you for like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I didn't know one-on-one. I was like panicked.
Yeah.
And he was like, it was the most fun. Like we just sat and chatted. You know how I'm a chatter.
Do you feel bad for your boyfriend at the time? Were he just like doing something nice for you?
Not at all. He was
Okay.
fixing his own car. But we were friends.
But he was like, can you please take care of my.
Yeah, can you
Kels.
entertain me? Yeah, and then like years later, we end up married.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, I don't
He's
feel
like,
bad.
yeah, I introduced them
Yeah.
when we were dating.
Well, he dumped me. That's his fault. But
okay.
But we were friends for a really long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was just like, I guess what I'm saying is like our meet cute was never like romantic. It was like friends, and then we just clicked as friends.
I think in
so
some ways that
well.
is romantic, though.
So I mean, it really was. It was a great connection. Like, if you ever get that where you're like stuck with somebody for whatever reason, and and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, we just like had the best conversation.
Yeah.
And then every time I talked to him, it was like he was like the guy. I was like, hey, Jason.
Yeah, I like those stories more.
Yeah, and then later I was in a film class, and he found out what film class I was in.
And he got into
and
it.
got into the class.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little. Come on, bud.
No, but he's like, it wasn't creepy. But he told me it wasn't like
It was creepy
I'm
because he showed up
stalking
with
you.
a backwards hat and a fake mustache, and you're like, "Who are you?" I'm nobody.
He's like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
the Jason.
What if-
I'm Brian.
Yeah, he showed up like in a dress and like in Sorority Boys, which is a
Sorority
reference
Boys.
from an early 2000s movie.
Nice. So,
I think like so my
friends
friend
are cool. How about you? Do you have people like when because you've dated, you have been in more relationships than I.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am not somebody who does that. I never really did it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a harder time introducing some people to friends than others? Where like sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's separate. Do you
I like
it?
so my idea is that I like for instance, like, okay, so my friend Nick, when he met his girlfriend, now wife, Amy, we would hang out with them, and we got really close to her roommates and our friends, and we just would all kind of hang out together. So then when they got married, and then we went to the wedding, it was just like hanging out with all my
Yeah.
friends, and then we
Hanging
all
out.
had stories
Hanging out.
about to say, hanging out with the family. Yeah. Having ourselves a good time. Hanging out. That's from a really bad
Birdemic.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, moving on.
I like that because I like some of my favorite parts, which I get very annoyed at because in weddings, my favorite parts are the speeches, but when the speeches tell personal stories.
Okay.
And I hate it because a lot of times those are the moments when people are listening the least.
Yeah.
And I think
So
it's
you're
the
like
cutest.
shushing people at weddings.
Because you get a window into who this couple really is instead of this like.
But you're a storyteller guy. So
Yeah, I am.
That's your deal.
And I think stories drive humanity. But
You're like poignant
but
point
like
made.
I also like my last girlfriend, like I always wanted like the mixing of the friends, which was kind of a hard thing to do with some people. Some people are kind of more private with their friends.
Yeah.
But I like that. I personally like that a lot because it's just like, I don't like when you do have like the parties or whatever when kind of both sides are together. I don't like it when it feels like a middle school dance.
When like
When
your
they're
friend group's
over here and they're over there.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's have like they're fun. Like my friends are my friends for a reason. Like they're fun to be around, or I like them for a reason. Like, your friends are fun. Like we should.
Yeah. But like, for example, like if you don't mind me talking about like you and Katie, like she had like a different like professional friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have like comic friends. Sometimes friends don't mix, and I think that can be okay too.
Well, it's
right?
all like the idea of trying.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of like when it doesn't happen, it's okay. So like Jason and I have friends that are also like our own, and
Yeah.
I think it's kind of nice to have like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on a walk with my friend Jen. Like
Yeah.
like I think it's also like when you never that identity thing of like, oh no, I have my own group of friends, and then
Yeah.
we have kind of like mixed friends, and we have like friends who like to go out and spend money on food, but some friends who don't.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like you have those different like classifications of friendship.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be like a whole world.
Yeah.
But I think it is nice when they can mix. It's kind of fun to not like where it has to be that way.
I get nervous, and I think
Like
it's
around Jason's friends.
No, I think I get nervous about mixing worlds, and I think it's just because of the home I grew up in. Like we didn't. It was very you grew up in a home where like there's a lot of like unspoken. So I think it's called magical thinking too, and unspoken like it's you don't bring people around.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't want people to kind of know, even though it's like never said.
Yeah.
Like, it's never an actual rule. Like people don't come over. You just know like you don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh.
So you don't. So it's like
'cause you
mixing
live in that
families.
sitch,
Yeah,
yeah.
You live in a situation where you're like, who knows what's gonna happen? Like it might be all great, but like somebody might like knock over a milk, and Dad will like lose his fucking brains.
Yeah.
I don't want a friend over there.
Yeah.
If it's not like safe.
Yeah.
So sometimes like mixing worlds, I get a little. I still do it.
Really?
But there's that moment of like.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
I'm like afraid
Yeah.
of like what'll happen, even though it's not gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Like-
See, for me, it was like opposite because it was my mom left my dad when I was 3, so I didn't have that
Yeah.
that home life that you had, and it was just me and my mom. So then I would always, and I was the only child, so like all my friends would come. I'd be the house where everyone came over to.
Yeah, you know what's
always.
so interesting? All my friends were you. I had a lot of only child friends who were like, come over, and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah. See, I always wanted people to come to my house. I never wanted to go to theirs.
Yeah.
Because
So we would have been great friends.
Yeah.
Jonah.
What? And then
Like slumber party. We would watch all the movies, ate all the popcorn,
Yeah.
and all the food.
And I would say like when I bring like girlfriends home to meet my family's so welcoming that they're also like they're so concerned about like that person more than me. Where I get kind of jealous. Where I'm like, I'm here too.
Yeah, you said that they're so inviting.
They're so inviting,
which is really nice.
Yeah, which I
really
love,
nice.
and they're just because they're so into like learning about other people. So I don't know. I just like that. It's good. Like I guess the one thing.
I just want to say something really quick.
Yeah.
The battery here, just in case you guys are watching on YouTube, this is not going to be affected in the podcast.
It's
This
getting
might
low.
cut off. Just
We're
so you
almost
know.
done.
Just so you know,
almost
if
done.
for whatever reason it cuts off on YouTube, bye.
And then it'll just be. We can
I'll just put a logo, you can hear us or whatever.
yeah.
But if we're not like, there was not a weird apocalypse.
Yeah.
We're like,
We're good to go.
yeah, we're fine. All right.
But-
Continuing on, your
But the
family.
main thing, I'll finish on this, is the main thing I think when I'm dating somebody and then I do see like a future with that person, I want like, I just want people to say really great things about us at our wedding. That's all it really
That's
is.
it,
It's
yeah.
so selfish.
You just want a public display of love, which is what
Well,
the
about
wedding
like,
is.
well, because like if I care, like, so when Katie and I were there, when that was our
Your
future
conversation, yeah.
it was like and that was the good thing about her too, is that she was very good with my friends. I've had girlfriends who are not, and I'm just like, well, why wouldn't you want to be? Because like, don't you want like a celebration of who we are? Like, if we get to the wedding level, like I want people to know and experience why I like this person so much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And I think it's just so interesting how we react so differently to that. Like you and I personally,
Yeah.
like I love the idea of what you're saying of like,
Yeah.
we're going to invite everybody we love to celebrate our love and tell stories together in a room and share it. And isn't that fantastic?
Right.
And that sounds amazing.
Look at how
to
we
me.
affect everybody.
Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
And I am
It's really
so
selfish.
private about that stuff.
Are you really?
Isn't that bananas? Because
Yeah.
you think like,
Yeah, because you don't bring Jason around a lot.
no.
Is that because he doesn't like being around a lot too, or is it because
Well,
you just
one,
kind
I've
of
been
want to
doing
separate?
this for so long. For
Yeah.
comedy in general, like you and I only really saw each other until open mic at comedy stuff. And Jason's really not part of that world just because it's late night. He has a job. And also he's like kind of seen my stuff. So he'll support like big shows. And he used to film a lot of stuff, but we've been together forever.
Yeah.
So at some point she's like, yeah, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like, oh, I'm socializing and being around friends.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal, right?
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
Yeah,
I mean,
but also like our
that's not
wedding,
on Jason.
we went to Mexico by ourselves.
Yeah,
Like,
destination wedding. Fuck you.
yeah, well, no, but we didn't invite anybody. Like, we
okay.
paid for my mom to go because she wanted to go there and she just didn't have the funds at the time.
Yeah.
My sister and Dave, they wanted to go, and then his dad and his family. I'm pointing over here because that's where our pictures are. Like, he wanted to he usually pays for like their vacations, so he just paid for his sisters to go.
Oh, that's nice.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's it. I mean, it was like 10 people. It was
That's what you're
super
looking
small.
for. Yeah. See, I just like big. I also like entertaining people.
Yeah, but it's a strange thing of
As a
like
person.
I feel like that too as well. But I have this very like public/private divide. Where it's
Yeah.
like I want somebody to come to my show and celebrate and love talent. It makes me weird when they're just celebrating love.
you.
Isn't
Oh,
that
okay.
weird? Like, and I talk about
Yeah.
that in therapy all the time. But
you
like,
really?
yeah, where it's like, why can't I? It feels like it's not deserved. It feels very strange. That's why I
Oh.
think this kind of show. There's many reasons I don't like this show, but one of the things is like it's such a public display of love. I don't believe it because I
Yeah.
feel like for me, and I get that other people are public, and I'm not saying that that's not valid at all, but for me it's so uncomfortable because if something is so real and so special and so intimate and it's so, my experience has always been like just one-on-one, like very, the things that mean something are usually really private.
Yeah. I think like for me it's like I'm different because like I think when I'm really proud of something I like to I think the word showing off is not the best, for the lack of a better phrase.
Right?
Yeah, well, I don't want to
Like,
celebrate to everybody else, but like I'm just like I'm so happy with this person, and I think this person's so great that I want everyone else to know how great that person is as well. And that's how I feel like with some of my friends. I feel like, dude, you should come here and meet these people. Like I don't want people to have like, because some people are weird and they're just like, why do you never bring your girlfriend around? Or why is this? Or why is that? And then I think they come up with their own narrative of what's happening. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's not what happened,
Yeah, and I think it's all that's why like different people have different things. Because I
Yeah.
remember, so the person that we talked about briefly before Jason, he said something, and I think he meant it complimentary before. He's like, I really like being with you because I like bringing you out.
Yeah.
Because I can, this is when I was drinking, but I can definitely go to a party and you can like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I think he liked, and I was very gregarious, and I was like loud and fun, and he meant it as a compliment. And at first I took it that way, but at some point it also was like, I'm not a display.
Yeah.
Like, why don't? Because he acted differently around me publicly than privately too. Like,
Like what? How so?
like I mean, it's just a little like uninterested. You
Like
know what
privately
I mean?
or publicly?
Privately. Like he was like, yeah, let's go do a thing, and then he seemed like bored after. You know what I'm saying? Like we would
so
go to a
what you- so
party,
he-
we'd go home, have sex. He's like, I'm done. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, your function is over.
Okay.
Now, I was very young, so I
Yeah.
didn't really have a conversation with him about it to
Yeah.
like, actually know. But that's how it felt after a while. I was like, well, wait a second. Am I just supposed to be like some party girl that's fun?
Yeah.
And you don't really like me.
Like a side piece,
Yeah, or like aren't we really fun out together?
Yeah.
Aren't we a fun couple?
like a validation tool,
yeah, like but you don't really seem to have a fun time
like normally. With
normally.
me.
Yeah. It's like when other people are around, and it changed that way. Like it didn't seem that way.
Yeah.
I think you just want, but I think that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like people are almost in love with being the idea of a couple and how they are outside in public and not private. Now I'm not saying that's how you are. I'm just saying that was my experience. So when somebody is that affectionate to me privately, it matters more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does totally make sense. Yeah, but I think some people are like that too, where they just like. I think my dad was like that, where he just wanted this like kind of like thing
look
to
at
show.
me.
Hey, look what I
Yeah.
got.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
they have like things like trophy wives.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
things like
yeah,
that.
quote,
And
unquote.
I don't think that's what I was. I was more like, we're fun out.
Yeah.
Like, aren't we the most fun?
Yeah, I like the idea of people thinking that I'm a fun couple.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, but I also feel like I take that feeling when it's just them, and if
there's
I like
nobody-
them,
yeah.
yeah.
There's
I
nobody
hope I
around.
do. Yeah,
If there's nobody around and there's no place to display your love,
yeah.
can you love someone privately?
Yeah.
And I think when the answer is yes, I think that's real.
Yeah, and that's into like not to talk about my ex-girlfriend again, but like I think that was a nice thing, which I think I would give Katie a huge compliment on, is that she was like so supportive. She would come out to a lot of the shows because I think I legitimately thought she was having fun and she liked meeting everybody and she was really supportive in those ways. And then when she changed her schedule and she just couldn't, like Jason can't.
Yeah.
all my friends were so. Sometimes like some of the guy friends, or if the girlfriend has come out a lot or whatever, I guess they get kind of shitty about it. But because they got to know Katie so much that they were like disappointed when she wouldn't be around anymore.
Yeah.
And that was always I like that when people are. I like to feel that people like my girlfriend more than me.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Do you feel
Makes
like
me
you're
feel
not
good inside.
worthy?
No, it makes me feel like I found something great.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like that when people because I've definitely had the girlfriends who the opposite. When we break up, they're just like, I fucking hated that person. And you're like, why didn't you tell me? Like,
Yeah.
I like it when they're just like, oh, yeah, why isn't she want me? I love hanging out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it kind of like validates your love or something, like your friend. Because
yeah,
I
I'm making a right decision.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't want to use the word validate, but I think there is something to be said. And clearly, like in the Jason situation here, like your friends, like liking or getting along with or merging well with your girlfriend or significant other is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it is usually like, not to call it a test, but it is a moment in a relationship that
Yeah.
it,
I mean, you hear
it
this,
means something.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also hear those horror stories of like when people's parents get divorced and they marry somebody who's just the worst person ever. But like for some reason, like the husband or wife like sees something in them, obviously, but you never know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then also like this person just could be, you know, the real person outside of when they're in that relationship, you know?
Yeah.
That are bad people. I don't know. It just seems like, yeah, I don't know.
Were you talking about your experience with your dad? Is that what you mean by that?
No, I've heard worse stories with other, because I've never had to live with a step parent other than my stepdad when my mom got remarried, and he was great. I think at the time I was just so not having a dad, used to having a dad. I think I was the one that wasn't as accommodating and as in welcoming with him as I should have been, and that's kind of a big regret now that he passed. Is that I wasn't like that, because he did try really hard.
Yeah.
So he had his own demons. He was an alcoholic too. But I hear stories of like my mom married this guy and he was such a piece of shit to everybody and us, and you know, like that. I feel bad for that.
Yeah.
I just want people to celebrate the people that you, because like I think sometimes you can get blinded by love, or you can get blinded by certain things, so you don't see the bad, you only see the good. And
Well,
then,
I think that's one of the negatives. You're a very optimistic person.
I am.
And I feel like, and I feel like even though in our relationship with this podcast,
Yeah.
I'm sort of the more of the cynic, but in real life,
but people think people love you more than me, and I love that.
well, no, but in real life,
We get
I
the
feel
most
like-
compliments about you.
I feel like I think we're both optimistic people,
Mm-hmm.
and we're always looking for the good. And sometimes the bad with that is you can't see the truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't see the truth, and I think it's really important to see why.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
So anyways, so Jason. So
we really went off the rails, you guys.
no, but I think that was really important, because I think it does have to do with, like, for Becca, that's a huge thing for her.
Friendship seems important to her. Family seems important.
Yeah,
to her.
super hurt. And then see, I was on fucking Twitter last night, and I have a feeling that I don't want to do any spoilers, but that I think that it might be leaning towards Jason. As
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think
Interesting.
this was the episode that kind of like, maybe we talked about that last week, how we thought that Jason was kind of a sleeper. And I think he really was. And I think this is the moment too, because he has such a good friendship with his friends. His friends were very like into Becca. Well, they're also on TV, but they're really into Becca. And then Becca too said, if you date me, you're also dating her friends was like, if you're dating Becca, you're dating us
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And,
And
it
then
seemed
and his friends said that same exact line
Right.
to her.
Yeah, they have the same kind of language. They have the same kind of community.
Yeah.
It seems like a really
so I
good
think
fit.
that's when she was just like, I don't know where this came from, but Jesus Christ, I'm really falling in love with
and
this
he's
guy.
a good kisser. She keeps saying that. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about the speech? The Jason speech?
I said, what did I write? Tell me about you feel.
It was the vulnerable.
I said he's very well spoken.
Yeah, the Alzheimer's story, right?
Yeah.
So he's telling a story about like his dad who looks at his grandma, and his grandma doesn't recognize him. That's heartbreaking, but he smiles and he like pushes through anyway
Yeah.
to try to take care of her and try to get her obviously to recognize him or just to have a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Listen, I am not slamming his story at all.
Yeah.
I think I found a revelation about why I don't like these things, and I wanted to share it with you.
Okay, go ahead.
So I don't know. This is just my experience. You of course don't have to be like you probably will not agree, and I understand. But I feel
Then
like
why fucking say it, Kelsie?
well, I put, and I'm sure you see in this big red letters here or like underline, feeling safe, like
Oh, they said for sale.
for sale.
I can't read that
Feel
far.
safe. We're kind of getting back to this private moment, like to be that vulnerable, which of course, these are the vulnerable interviews. They always happen at one-on-ones.
Right.
They always happen at dinner at the very end. Like everybody gets to know each other, and then you're rewarded with a rose if you tell your sad story. That's
Right.
just how the game works.
Right.
And I also think that how it works.
She baited it a little bit too.
Yeah, and I think that's how it works in real life. I'm not saying like blah, 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 but the show has a system, right?
Yeah.
And I think what bothers me about it so much is like it's taken me my whole life to feel safe with someone. Oh my gosh, I hope I do not get emotional. I've gone
my
to
God.
therapy. But like,
Is this show going to change your life?
no, it's not going to change my life. But this is therapy changes my life. Everybody should go. I think it
This
takes.
show is my therapy.
That is so sad.
No, it's not.
But like, okay, it's also cheap therapy, so I'll give that to you.
It's true.
Let me get to it and I'll be done, and then we can move on so I don't get emotional. The feeling
Do you
safe.
feel like I interrupt people a lot?
Jonah. It has taken me my whole life to feel safe enough with someone to be able to be that vulnerable. Because I don't feel safe a lot because of my family upbringing, to feel,
Yeah.
especially with a partner. So to see it kind of manufactured like this,
Did that feel? That's my question to you to interrupt. But did this legitimate with Jason? Not in general, but with Jason, did it feel manufactured?
it's the game. I'm not talking about individual. We crapped out on our video.
That's cool.
Sorry, guys. So you're just gonna listen to the sultry sound of our voice
yeah.
on podcast.
How's it feel now? Put that boost in, that bass boost in, baby.
I'm not specifically talking about Jason and Becca. I'm talking about the structure and the framework of the show.
Okay.
So the vulnerability interview, which is what I'm calling these things on the one-on-ones.
Sure.
They feel they don't feel revealing to me. They make me irritated because it seems like a manufactured vulnerability when in real life and in my experience, it has taken me years of work to truly get to a place with somebody that I can, oh my God, don't do it, Kelsie, that I can be that vulnerable, and that they just do it on TV like it's nothing. Look at how mad I'm writing. Like they trivialize it a little bit.
I think that's your own personal experience, obviously, that you're putting into that.
Well, yeah, but that's the world. I mean,
That's your world,
But
though.
honestly, Jonah,
Honestly,
listen,
that's
and
your
I don't
world.
know. To be fair, like I don't know if I
There's
need a
nothing wrong
devil's
with that.
advocate moment right now.
Okay, I'll shut
like,
up.
Just so you
Yeah,
know, like I
yeah.
don't think I would. I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay, cool.
Okay. But I think that's why it bothers me so much. Like,
Yeah.
you talk about like, how come you don't like the show, Kelsie? How come, you can't just have fun with it? I feel like all these things they're doing in a TV way, it takes real people so long to find this really true thing. Oh, God, that it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they're taking it away. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I don't want to cry about it. Let's
You're
move
not.
on.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'm so glad the video died.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, moving on. Let's move on. You can interrupt me now, Jonah.
Do you need a hug? You want to have a hug moment?
No, therapy's the worst. Okay, let's keep moving.
Oh my God.
Colton. Let's talk about Colton. Group date. He's next.
Can we go back to Jason later?
Yeah, later. But
Okay,
not
cool.
now,
Not
because I
now.
don't want to cry in front of you. Because you never
What?
cry on the show, and I'm always crying, and I hate it.
When have you cried? You've never cried on the show
Yeah, we were
before.
talking about rape, and I cried all over the place.
No, you just were very passionate.
Anyway, I'm not going to be embarrassed because
Can
know
you
what?
read your notes
Feelings
now?
are
You have
real.
tears all over them?
Yeah, feelings are real.
You're
And the
fine.
therapist said it's okay to cry, but I don't really want her to put it on the internet. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So group date.
Hey, I just want to say one thing.
Don't say that it's not my fault because I'll punch you.
I'm not
in
going to
the
say
mouth.
that. No.
Okay.
But I will want to say one thing. I want to play devil's advocate so bad right
I know
now. You have
do,
no idea. But
don't-
I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it. Don't
not-
do it, Jonah.
yeah.
Because feeling safe is hard, and I feel safe with you. I think that's why I
Yeah.
can cry in front of you. So don't take it away, Jonah.
Yeah, I
Because
won't.
then I'll put my walls of anger back out, and
Yeah.
I'll punch you, and
Yeah.
it'll be bad.
It's the only child in me that's happening right now. And I love you so much. And I'm going to move on.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for appreciating that. But I think that's really the end of it. I think it trivializes something that is hard. That's all. Okay.
Yeah. Can we go back to it, though, later? Because I have something I want to say
Yeah,
about it.
maybe
Okay.
we can even do a teaser because maybe I'm too emotional today. So maybe we can do it next week. But we'll see how we feel.
Okay.
We're also on like hour 25,000. So group date.
We're almost done. We got like 10 minutes left.
Okay, great. Colton, Garrett, Wills, Connor, Blake.
When I said that out
Lincoln.
loud, when I said that just now, do you think anybody listening rolled their eyes?
Probably.
You think so?
They're like 10 minutes. Shut the fuck up, you guys.
You know what? You can also hit pause. So that's on you.
Yeah. They're like, good thing that we have a 7-hour road trip
Yeah.
to listen to all this stuff. Okay. So group date.
Group date.
Chris R. Guns blazing. Group date. He wanted the one-on-one. He didn't get it. The one-on-one goes to Leo, and he is already, Chris, in a bad state. He is already like working on his victory
Yeah.
and not working
He even
on.
like says, I'm going to pull out the big guns on this one.
Yeah, guns are blazing. Like
Yeah.
it's all about victory, all about victory. And that is not the right move, my friend. That is not the right move.
Yeah.
He is focused on like this as a challenge, almost like a personal challenge. Like, I never give up. I never surrender. And you're like,
Yeah.
one, that's Galaxy Quest, I think. Two, like,
Do you
know
think
what
he
I
was
mean?
listening to You're the Best from Karate Kid?
Maybe. Just like,
You're the best. All right. He's like, you're going to use this for a montage, right? Yeah, there's never going to keep you
He's just
down.
punching
You're the
mirrors.
best.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway.
And then the PAs are just like, that's not even a camera. This guy's losing it.
This recording is off.
I did like how everybody in the... I liked how all the guys were just like, Chris is fucking losing it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you
I
can
mean,
tell they're kind of like
they were
need to
like,
fuck with this guy a little bit.
Yeah. They were like, also
Yeah.
like poke the bear.
Yeah,
Poke
just
the
a
bear.
tad, just a tad.
Just a little poke. Yeah,
Just a tad.
Because I mean that's the thing. If you're on a show like that where you're like trying to win and you know somebody's losing it, of course you're gonna like try to
Yeah.
push somebody over the edge. That's a game show.
That's why like Colton, when he's just like, dude, if you two are gonna be like this, pack your bags.
Yeah.
Like, cause he like even in that sentence when they're just like, we're not gonna fucking pack our bags. Like they didn't listen to Colton. Colton was giving good advice. He's like, this never works out for anybody on a
Yep.
show like this.
Uh-huh.
You know this, and you're just having your reality TV breakdowns, which is the one thing that
Colton does know the show.
he doesn't know the show.
Colton knows the show.
Yeah, he knows the
like,
show.
He knows how to play the show.
Yeah,
he's
even
always
even
tiptoeing in drama,
Yeah.
but not quite. But he's always in there. Do you notice? Colton
yeah,
is
yeah,
always,
yeah. He knows what he's doing. He's not dumb.
Yeah,
He's a professional athlete. That guy is the most competitive motherfucker.
Yeah, but he like clearly knows the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even with okay, so who?
You're saying Connor?
Garrett. So even Garrett, because Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
When when she was like, I can't talk to you, he was just like, that was my moment to be honest with her. Like he said that. Mm-hmm. Like he was like, that was the time I was going to open up to her. What you doing to me? How dare you? How dare you take that away from me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the group date, so do you want to go through the group date before? Because I feel like
We can go
the real
that's
juice.
really quick. Yeah.
The real juice it gets at the one-on-one. I mean, the
We
group
saw
date,
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
That guy's probably like, oh, finally, I'm going to make it as an actor. You have no idea all the things are going to open up for me now. Like, I think the one thing with what's the
What?
What's the drive-through commercials that TJ Jaganowski's on?
Sonic.
You think the one thing that Sonic commercials really needed? They just needed an Abraham Lincoln in the back. In the back.
I know. He's like, man, I really wish they remake Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
He probably was like,
Yeah.
that was me.
That was that Abe Lincoln on Bill and Ted looked good.
I just watched it last week.
Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
Is it good? Still, does it hold up?
It holds up.
Okay.
It totally does.
Cool,
Then
cool.
Napoleon Dynamite or Napoleon Dynamite.
yeah.
Napoleon's great.
Yeah, the Ziggy Piggy going down the
Ziggy Piggy, Ziggy Piggy.
That
Ziggy
is burned
Piggy.
in my brain,
Yeah.
that movie. Lincoln on Lincoln, kind of funny. I mean, Lincoln's got his problems. The real life Lincoln.
Yeah.
Not real life Abe Lincoln, real life Lincoln on reality show.
Yeah.
He did have a Lincoln on Lincoln moment
Yeah.
that I chuckled at, so I will give him a
I feel like
chuckle.
that George Washington, I feel like he was just an alternate and the other person had like laryngitis. And he's like, yeah, I'll do it.
He's like, get him up here.
Yeah, he's
Aren't
got a
you on
cigarette.
John Adams?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
You're like, I don't have to be John Adams today, sweet.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, that's John. What? That's Abraham Lincoln?
Yeah,
That
George
doesn't make-
Washington.
George Washington?
Yeah.
You know what I meant. The
Chris
world knew what I
R.
meant.
said he's dead to me at some point.
What? To
Chris
who?
R. I don't
To
know.
Lincoln?
I wrote down he's dead to me. What?
He did say that about Lincoln.
He's insane. Like he's just lost it, man.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna look in that direction.
Yeah, he said to me. So Chris Harrison, not Chris R.
It's just weird how like he instantly puts Lincoln as like the direct competition that he needs to put down to then. It's just weird, like
the way people's
a
brain
guy's
work.
psyche is really insane.
Yeah.
To me.
I think it's that focus. Now listen, through evolution, maybe that focus helped you survive.
Yeah.
You're not living in that world right now, my
No.
friend. So you're also, that's what I'm saying. Like, and again, this is a statistic that I'm sure I'm going to mess up, but an over jacked up as testosterone actually does like blind you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you
For
cannot see the greater game, the greater world.
Yeah.
You see one focused thing,
Yeah,
which
and
again helps you kill the lion.
Yeah.
But that is not helping you in a social tribal world.
Yeah, it was just like Jordan and David. Yeah.
Got bonkers.
Yeah.
So Chris Harrison is back at the announcer table. He loves to
Just
sit
having
and
a
announce.
grand old time.
Grand old time. He's with the first president, the 16th president, and the 14th Bachelorette. That was a good joke of his.
Yeah.
Ralph Northam shows up. He's
You think
the
when nobody
governor.
laughed, he looked over his rider, he goes, "You're fired."
You're fired.
Yeah.
I said applause sign.
Yeah.
Hit it now.
Hit it.
The governor is there. I thought he was with Mr. Rogers for just a moment. I got real excited. Have you seen the new Mr. Rogers movie
No, I
yet?
heard it's
Oh my
really
god,
good.
you got to go see it. It's so good. And then he's like you said, really pushing that tourism. I am sure.
Oh my God.
And then we get into the sort of why do they have to bring up the debate? So Chris and Lincoln obviously have their catty moment, and everyone's uncomfortable.
Well, Lincoln did the shots fired first. He
just
definitely
did like
was
a Chris wink,
Yeah.
but it was like a playful thing.
Right,
Poke
but he
the
knows
bear.
what he's doing. Yeah.
Poke
And
that
then,
bear.
boy,
And-
Lincoln got pissed. Like, I was like, this is not a real debate.
Yeah, Chris.
That dude voted for Trump.
I mean, that guy's got anger, rage, and
Right.
blind.
Even like watching Becca's face, where she's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, it's
Like,
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
See
you never in the
somebody-
crowd too, and she was like embarrassed.
It's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing, and I like that thing too, where she's just like, I was just embarrassed. Like, that's a window to your relationship. If you're
Yeah.
already getting embarrassed of this
He's
person
out,
because
man.
of their actions, for sure.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
out. I mean, I don't know. Red flags across the board.
I feel like after he left, when she escorted him out, she was just like, ugh,
Yeah.
like ugh, like just
Yeah.
like had to
Shake it out.
off.
Yeah, like you gotta
Shake
get
it
a
off.
shower.
Shake-
yeah, exactly. So they finally, the guys, they're home, and I think. Who does she take? She takes Lincoln back to chat first. Instantly interrupted when they're
Yeah.
in the cocktail hour or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
After the whole debate.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like so it was Chris and who else was it Garrett?
Garrett interrupts. So it goes Lincoln first.
Yeah.
So Becca chose Lincoln to
Yeah.
chat with somebody because I'm sure she had to choose one of them.
Right.
Whatever. So she chose Lincoln, and then Chris interrupted Lincoln. And Lincoln was kind of going off about the drama. I don't
Yeah.
know. I kind of was like, blah, boring.
Yeah.
And then Becca was like,
'cause-
I'm going to talk to you about it.
Because then
I'm gonna
Garrett
talk
says,
to you about
"Are
this."
people being who they are in front and behind?" And then Garrett's like, "Yeah, I think we're all kind of being pretty genuine of who we are, whatever." And then that's when Chris was like, "Not necessarily."
Oh, yeah, no,
Actually,
that was
Lincoln.
Blake. Yeah, so you're talking
It
about...
was Blake. I'm sorry, it's Blake.
Yeah, you're
Blake.
talking about the debate time. I'm
I'm
going
talking
back
about,
to
yeah,
the
I'm talking about
cocktail
debate
hour.
time
Yeah.
because that's
So-
kind of what kind of the Lincoln comment and then the Blake comment.
Yeah. I think whatever
And then
would
it
have
made Blake
happened...
look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, "That's
Yeah,
well,
I
kind
think
of."
Chris would have exploded no matter what.
Yeah.
So it doesn't,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened. And then when he tries to get... This is, I mean, there are red flags from this Chris guy all the time. When he tries to talk to Becca and she's like, I am trying to talk to you about this. He's like, you hurt me, how I feel. He is always, listen, if you're in a relationship and the only thing they can talk about themselves, you need to get out.
Yeah.
You need to get out. They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
You hurt me. You did it. It's you.
Yeah.
You did it. You did this to me. You did this. You did this. If that is the vocabulary in your relationship, this is just a PSA. You need to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like that. It gets my heart, like, I was like, my heart racing. And this is the thing that pisses me off about reality TV. They know how to get good TV. And this is like triggering for people.
Yeah.
So like, they did this with Corinne too. They like did a statistics of people's heart rate watching Corinne as opposed to watching the others. And because people are so irritated with her,
Yeah.
their heart rate would get up. They would actually be more invested and engaged in the TV. And that is definitely happening to me with Chris.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I hate his behavior.
Yeah.
I just hate the way he talks. I hate
started-
the way he victim blames.
I hate the way he smiles when he talks.
Yeah, it's just this I know I keep saying this gaslighting, but it's just such a thing of like making when you are in the wrong, and he doesn't clearly know, but
No.
he's blinded. But even if in an argument, if you're like you, and not like listening at all,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
When you're in the beginning,
don't want that
when you're in the
partner.
beginning stages of a relationship and you're sitting there being like, "What do you even want from me?" It's like, what? Yeah.
Like, how do you even talk that way? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then her being like, so Garrett interrupts, and her being like, I need a few minutes. And I really like to see the golden retriever being a little like, this is bullshit. Like, Garrett
Yeah.
comes back
Yeah.
and the squabbles. And you're just like, no, I'm talking right now. And you're like, oh, the golden retriever's pissed.
Yeah, when you see the happy guy just be like,
Yeah, like, I'm
fuck,
talking.
dude? Yeah.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you said to her, but this is what I know how she feels right now. And this is, this
"You're
is my
ruining
time.
my time.
Yeah, it's
I've been
affecting
waiting
everyone.
weeks for this,
Yeah.
and it's affecting everybody else because of your bullshit." Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, and I know Becca has to keep people around for some TV drama.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, I'm sure you have to. But this kind of drama sucks. And then I thought about it. Wait a second. They set her up for drama from the very beginning.
Because of everything.
Not even Ari. Her boyfriend came to the Ari scene.
Yeah.
Becca has always been set up in our mind as the gal who has to deal with this kind of drama, with
I don't
these
think
kind
so.
of men.
I would disagree.
That's how they set her up. The boyfriend, Ari
then-
dumps her. She's at the heartbreak. They have all these squabbles. There's a lot. I mean, in Rachel's season, she's shutting all this stuff down. She's shutting it down.
Well, I think this is how Becca is. So, here's one thing why I would disagree with you on that one is because because I thought about that comment too. I'm like, oh my God, I bet you this Chris is just like that boyfriend who's like real kind of like that type of
Well, he
guy.
showed up.
And she's, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he constantly never leaves her alone when
But
she
why I'm
asks.
saying that they didn't set it up is because I had to make that correlation, that connection. But they've never if they were really setting it up, if they were doing the smart thing, is they would have in the preview of what you missed on The Bachelor, they would have mentioned it then. They didn't. They made no reference or mention of that guy showing up.
I'm just saying, in the other Bachelor, and again, I haven't watched the show for so long. Everybody has their thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Rachel seems like I'm like a really smart gal who knows what I want. I'm no nonsense. I want the truth, right?
That's how she is.
Like a business gal. But they also like really push it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like what they've done for Becca is they're always they're challenging her all the time.
I think they're trying to make her into the underdog.
Yeah, but with the underdog, that's what you have to do.
Yeah, but I think, but it's also like it's her journey through like losing her parent, and then she lost through the Ari thing.
Like there's a lot of shit she had to deal with.
Because you want to root because like I think they're just trying to make have you root for her.
Yeah,
and then you also saw her stick up for herself.
Yeah, but you know when you're saying with underdog, I'm like I'm not saying, but as a story structure, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if we're looking behind the curtain, perhaps, and I'm not saying it's 100% true. How do you make an underdog? You give them challenges to overcome.
But there's challenges in life, and I think like there's gonna be people that are like that.
I just think she's like the drama Bachelorette. I haven't watched the show as much as you have, but it seems like there's a lot of like catty dudes being catty that she has to deal with. She is constantly sighing, rubbing her head, and like they're not seemingly really there to like talk to her.
But I would say that like after,
stir up shit.
Yeah, but I would say after this episode, it seems to be all gone.
Yeah, they seem to be just doing the thing that people do where they get like in their head about like there's a lot of guys here that like her.
Yeah.
So that's all I thought. Anything else about the cocktail party?
I don't know.
Colton gets the rose. Colton gets the rose,
which I thought was
fine.
Makes about sense.
Fine and dandy.
Will
says he's falling in love with her.
Yeah.
And Garrett seems to be a little bummed out that
he's
not getting any smooches.
Yeah, because also they're like when Chris is like, or you mean Connor?
What do you mean about Connor? He doesn't get the rose.
Right. Who you said Garrett is sad? Oh, okay.
Like
I was thinking when Connor and Garrett to me look so similar. No, they don't. Who looks similar? Blake and Connor look so similar to me. I can't put those two together.
It's Blake's shoulders.
Yeah, and their face kind of is a little bit. But
Blake's shoulders separates him. He looks like you don't see him. He looks like a fridge, dude.
Really?
Blake looks.
I gotta look
huge.
at him more often. Okay.
Look at his like suit when he got the rose. I was like, Becca put her hand on his like chest to put the rose. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
This guy's freaking fridge.
Just because Connor's freaking out too, because you could tell he's just like, I'm gonna get sent home. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have that one-on-one time,
he's also like the one.
Like, I know.
Yeah. Where even when it seemed like Chris, when they're like, did Connor say something about me? And he's like, who the fuck is Connor? Oh,
my roommate.
Yeah, he's the one that I don't remember.
Yeah. Can we talk about Leo?
Yeah, be really quick.
Yeah, we'll go on Leo one-on-one. I love Leo. Again, she's in her head because of the craziness that happened with Chris, and she admits it. But I like that Leo is still pretty playful. You know, he's in the plane. He's like, I feel like I'm in an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, and I thought that was a perfect time to make that little like red dot thing. I was like, oh, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, and they didn't. Yeah. I thought maybe they were looking for Laura's house because isn't Laura from Virginia?
Oh yeah.
I was like, Lauren, so sorry. Becca's not into it. I love
she's
this.
She's kind of in her
Leo.
head about it.
Yeah, where she's like, you don't have to have fun today.
Yeah.
We can just do nothing, and that's okay. I'm like, Leo.
I like Leo. Yeah.
That's why I'm into that. Oyster time.
Can he please talk about being a stuntman? I want to know about it so much.
Right? Maybe you already talked about it off.
I used to watch the show Movie Magic on Discovery every single day as a kid, and it was all about stunts they did, and I want to hear about stunt stories.
I would too. That would be fun.
How's that not gotten brought up yet?
I don't know. Maybe it's just like.
And he's like, he used to be a baseball player. I'm like, you look like you used to be a baseball player.
Yeah. So that was his talk.
He's got some dad issues going on.
Dad stuff. Yeah, feeling like a failure, not making it. And so they have that moment, and
I feel bad for Beck because I feel like that's going to be a constant like, no, you're great.
What do you mean?
Like she's going to have to constantly reassure him.
Oh, I see.
She's like that.
Yeah, I need that.
Huh?
I got dad stuff. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I need that too.
I need to be told I'm great.
Hey, you're great.
Thanks. You're great too, Jonah.
I needed that. Thank you.
I need it too. Like,
but when you say that, I go,
"What's the
you're
big
just saying
deal?"
it because I asked for it.
I know, but sometimes
You don't
it'll
fucking
happen
mean that.
when it's unexpected. It's the best.
Yeah.
When somebody like gives me reassurance and says that they're proud of me. Are you fucking kidding me?
We just figured out why I need people like my girlfriend so much because I need to be reassured that I make good decisions in my life.
I mean,
Yeah.
we all got shit, Jonah. I just cried on a microphone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like that he's silly. He's a little guarded. He seems kind of stable. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know where I'm getting that from because he did say, like, I know it might not seem like I want to settle down, but I do. So I don't know if he has like a reputation for being like wild.
Well, it's a stuntman.
Yeah, I guess it's that.
Talk about being a stuntman. What does that mean to you?
Yeah.
Are you with Hollywood types? I don't know.
Are you with Hollywood types? Do you have dinner with Jennifer Lawrence?
I think
That's
the
all I
one thing
know.
he's like, I know I look goofy.
Yeah.
I'm a goofy looking son of a
Caricature,
gun.
he calls himself,
Yeah, he does. I mean, he does with the
Yeah.
hair. And he's like a good looking dude, kind of.
But I think he plays like, yeah, and anyway, you know what, when he started talking
He
more,
looks like
because-
he used to be a stripper.
oh, maybe I could see like some dance moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Ron Swanson. If you listen to him with your eyes closed,
Yeah.
he sounds like Ron Swanson because I haven't heard him talk for like long periods of time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
I don't like
love
listening
Ron.
to him talk for long periods of time.
You don't? You
see,
wanted him to be mysterious?
You know, to talk about these reveals, this reveal just seems so fake. This one seemed pushed.
Well, maybe because he had to push it.
It just seemed out of the
she
blue.
was
It's just like, it seemed like it was because he like didn't feel like she was accepting him, and he's just like, nobody accepts me.
Yeah, she also didn't really seem to be listening.
She did not seem interested in that.
Yeah.
Like when she was listening to Jason talk, I mean, I was like, she is falling in love right now.
Yeah, her eyes were down most of the time. I mean, that's the shots they're showing us anyway. She did not seem interested in the story.
No, I feel like she likes him, but she's just like, I feel like there could be something, but I'm not feeling it. That's what I feel with her and so I think Leo's gonna be the first to go next.
I got
next
a feeling
round.
too.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, I like him, but hey, doesn't whatever.
I think she's just like, it seems like she's just like, oh, you'd be a good friend with him.
And that's the other thing. He's like, this is what I really like, and this is what maybe this
he
is
was
why
being a good friend.
I liked him because I am attracted to like men who are safe and kind and friendly. He's like, no matter what happens after this show, he said that I can always be there for you. That is a kind thing to say to someone.
He seems like a good guy.
You know, Chris R is not saying that. Even these guys are like falling in love. That's the other thing about like love and friendship. That's why I really like me and my husband Jason's relationship. It's mixed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there is a lot of friendship, like I got your back, kind of a thing. And I like that about Leo. That's what I liked about it. Anyway, so then we get into the Chris stuff. So after they have their moment, Leo gets the rose.
Right.
There's all this Chris stuff where he like is walking like
well, I mean, like Leo walks in and is just like, oh my God, what a great. And then he's just like, and then because he goes, if Leo comes home, I'm fucked.
Yeah. And he just gets up and walks.
That dude, everything is just catastrophic.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
And if he's not winning,
it's the
he's
worst.
Gonna burn it down.
It's the worst.
And that is some Trump shit right there. You mentioned that before. Like if I don't win, I'm gonna take everybody down with me.
Yeah.
That is fucking sociopath.
Everyone's against them, and everything's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's never gonna work out if this one thing doesn't.
That is an exhausting person to be around. I don't have friends like that
tiring
anymore.
to be around.
Like I don't have people like that in my life.
You've had friends with comedians.
Well,
they're all like that.
I keep them in the outer circle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like we're acquaintances, and I'll hang out till the end of days, like super fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not. They're not coming to my house.
Like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie?
Shut up. Just like that. And this is the other thing Chris said. I'm not allowed to question my feelings. Bye.
Yeah,
that is not the conversation we're having right now. Oh, God.
And he's just like, I'm showing you that I care. I showed up right now. And she's like, yeah, like you look weird.
Yeah. Also, you're not supposed to be here right now. Like, you're not, you're being some stalker behavior.
I will say that jacket did look nice on him.
It did look nice. I'll give that to him.
Yeah,
but you know what? You can look nice and still be an asshole.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Well, even this is, and I said this a billion times, Jonah, and I'm going to say it again. How you leave the show is your true character.
Right.
All the facade you can put on.
What did he say? Fuck this?
He said afterwards, fucked it. He's like, hey, and I want you out. He's like, no.
Yeah.
I don't need you to walk me out. And she's like, and he finally said, Rebecca's like, and this is why I like Rebecca because she does like step up.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm going to walk you out because that's the respect you deserve.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, fine.
Yeah.
So she like gives him a hug, like, I wish you the best, gives him a hug. He gets out.
He was looking for a kiss there.
He is a dirtbag. I mean, again, I feel so bad because this is actually like, if this was a movie, I would 100% be like, this guy's a dirtbag. This guy's a real person. I don't know him. But the person he is putting on camera is a dirtbag.
He's the asshole boyfriend in a rom-com.
For sure.
That the girl leaves.
Finally leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like emotionally, when they're like, you're emotionally abusive and I can physically see you attack me. I'm like, yeah. The person that you're presenting, I can 100% see all of those things happening. Ugh. Anyway, so Chris walks in.
I thought he was gonna punch the wall,
dude.
When he's like, "Fuck this."
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, did he
break
throw
his
David
hand.
off of the bed?
Yeah, it's like that one guy who slapped himself. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh, that was
what?
That was before our time.
One guy was like, "Cha cha chow."
Yeah.
Oh golly.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He got really emotional. He slapped himself. It was very funny.
Oh zoinks.
Yeah. Was that a
That's
JoJo
why I
season?
can't have a. That's why I can't have a camera on me.
Yeah.
Because I do weird shit like that. And people are like,
God.
oh, lock her up.
Yeah.
Like.
But we also know you like putting your tongue on things.
I sure do like to lick stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So that all happens. So the cocktail party is supposed to be going on, right?
Yeah.
That's the next cut or whatever. Chris walks in. This is what I love. All the guys go, oh.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Everybody's bummed out to see Chris, and they are not shy about it.
He says it too. He's like, I know you guys are probably happy to see me.
Yeah. They all just are like, not this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I don't know why. That made me really happy when that happened. So 0 cocktail parties.
Isn't it crazy how one person, the other Chris, one person can blow up a whole situation?
Yeah. Well, haven't you had
Have you
these
been at a
people-
party
yeah.
too where someone's
Oh
like
my
had
God,
that breakdown
yes.
where you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they
is
ruin
going on?
everything.
They ruin everything.
Yeah, people in my family, like I was around them when I was a kid. People would just, my dad, you'd lose it in a second.
Yeah.
For like, you're like, why?
Yeah.
And so as a kid, you can't even like
And it's like,
explain it.
everything just goes straight to them.
Yeah, so you're always, and we talked about this before on the show, but that's why I think I can read a room, because I was trained to fucking read a room.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, like this could set this guy off at any fucking time.
Yeah.
So what do we do? Do we dance? Are we quiet? Are we laughing? Are we what's the mood here?
Yeah.
And that's no way to live. It's on your fucking walking on eggshells all the time.
Right.
And that's what Chris would be. I'm very glad he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this we have Jason Colton and Leo have a rose.
I do kind of wish he made, as a watcher, I do kind of wish he made it to the end and then lost at the end, just to see what his reaction
Oh my
would be.
God, he'd probably like tear a helicopter
He'd
out of
probably
this
like
guy.
tear the set down.
Yeah, yeah. He'd
And
be
like
like
throw
Paul
a
Rudd.
camera and just punch Chris in the face.
He'd be like Paul Rudd at Wet Hot American Summer, where he's like, "Can you clean this up?" And he's like, "Ugh." He just tosses everything everywhere. Yeah, he's a child. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh man, could you imagine that?
Oh, man.
Oh God. Or even like just like watching him in a 2-on-1 and then he loses and then they like fly away and then they had that long shot from the thing on
Platoon.
yeah, and he's like, whoa.
It just turns into a war shot.
Yeah, or he jumps on the helicopter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
like, "Whoa." I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Or it's like the beach where he just like becomes part of the island.
oh, that's a deep one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Deep
Yeah,
cut.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
God, these are the things where I'm like, God, I kind of wish they just would have.
Would have been just
Yeah.
for the sake of not the thing, but
Just
for the
to
sake
see
of,
what would happen.
Basically, what you're doing is psychological torture on people and see how far they
know.
can push them.
Yeah.
Before they snap.
Like that Netflix documentary where that
Which one
guy
is it?
tries to convince somebody to kill somebody
Oh, I never seen. What's it
through
called?
manipulation. I have no clue.
Oh.
No idea.
Okay, but I'm sure you can
It's
Google
cool.
it.
It's called Won't You Be My Neighbor?
No, that's Mr. Rogers. Don't you even talk about that. That's a great show. I'm gonna cry. So Chris goes home, obviously, and then Connor and Lincoln do not get the rose at the end. So we do see Connor have a goodbye. Little squiffy. He's blaming her a lot. You know how
yeah.
I feel about like showing
Yeah.
your true character. And he's like, well, you kind of messed it up. I'm good, and you didn't see my goodness. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
that. They don't even show Lincoln's goodbye.
No.
Whoa. He doesn't even get an outro speech.
Because they don't have enough money to pay for the
The
subtitles.
lawsuits? Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Subtitles, lawsuits. Got
Yeah.
it.
Wow, you went real deep on that one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why they cut. I always wonder if that's why they cut people, because when things are revealed about their real life.
Well, I think the thing is that wasn't revealed until after this was all said and done.
Yeah, but you can probably go back and edit, right? I don't know. I don't know how that
That's
works.
true. Yeah, they can go
I
back
don't know
and
how that
edit.
works.
I thought you meant like why he left earlier.
Yeah, no, but I'm surprised that they didn't have him have like a talking head outro. Just didn't have him.
Yeah. I mean, you could be
He's
right
just
too
gone.
about that. Yeah.
So they're going to the Bahamas next week. So we've got Jason Colton,
We're
Leo,
getting down to the
Garrett,
skinny of it.
Wills, yeah, and Blake. Everyone looks like they're panicking, but I'm sure they're just making it look exciting and it's boring.
I'd say like yeah right. I know. So other than Leo, my guess is Leo's gone next week, but everyone else is kind of like I would say it's kind of like it's gonna be like a photo finish here with a lot of these people.
Yeah, I gotta say, Jason, I did not imagine. We did say this last week.
Jason like he's like that.
You're-
Yeah, he's got a nose ahead everybody.
yeah, he's good week. Good week
good
for
week
Jason.
I
Yeah.
want to talk about that thing. We can talk about it next week.
Oh, the thing. Yeah,
About
yeah.
what he
Let's
said.
talk about it next week. So next
I
week,
teared up.
Next week we'll talk about what are we talking about next week? The stuff
Next
that I
week's
cried.
episode.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's how that works.
And then
Oh,
I'm going to bring up Jason's talking head thing. No, Jason's story.
Jason's story.
Alzheimer's story.
Okay.
Are you going to be okay with that?
I don't know because I really have to urinate. Do you
No,
see
we're
me
done now. I
shaking?
said next week.
Okay, great, good,
Yeah.
great. All right, I'll save all my pee and my urine for next week.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So next week we'll be here to talk about some action, and then we're getting closer to the end. It's going to be hometowns pretty soon, and then we're going to be end with another season. Oh my God, can you even believe it?
Yeah. But don't worry because Bachelor in Paradise is coming up. Yeah.
Oh my God, do you also know, now I hate that I even know about all this stuff, but you know that Love Island is now a thing? That I know it's a thing in the UK, but I saw it on Hulu.
Is it?
We're not watching it, just so
Is
you
that a
know.
Bachelor thing?
It's a very, I don't know because I don't know, but I watch a lot of UK vloggers and they are all watching it, and it's very much like this kind of a thing.
Hey, we're franchise players. We're franchise players, bud.
Love Island, we out.
No, that's what Bachelor in Paradise is.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You say we're loyal to
We're loyal to our brand.
the demon Chris Harrison.
Yeah. If you thought
We can't cross
this was a
over.
reality TV podcast, we'd be watching The Challenge. We'd be watching Are You the One?
Oh my God.
We would be watching Bella's.
Jonah,
We'd be watching Total Divas.
I don't know
we
how you
for
sleep.
sure would be watching Vanderpump Rules. 1,000%.
Yeah.
That show's the best.
Jonah, we have to end the podcast because I am going to pee my pants.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna go watch some reality shows.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I do love a good accent. Australian, I think, is the hardest. They put R's
To do or to listen to? What's
No,
the hardest
no,
one to
t-
listen to?
to listen to. I don't know. I find a lot of them very fascinating. Just because we're so American and nasal. And
It
I-
always takes me a few minutes to get into Guy Ritchie films because I have to like get my brain to be able to hear the
yeah.
accent.
Peaky Blinders. I often have to put the
I
subtitles
couldn't watch
on.
that show at all because I'm like, what the fuck are these people saying?
Subtitles.
God.
They really help me out.
English pricks.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Pete. Hey.
I'm kidding.
Joke.
Do you like that show?
I liked it at first, and then I stopped watching it. And then there's a thing that happens that's supposed to get better, and I haven't picked it up at that point.
Did you watch
Season
it?
1 I liked.
When did Tom Hardy get into it?
Tom Hardy, who I love, but
I love
holy
Tom Hardy.
shit. What is he saying most of the time?
Yes,
He's
right?
So mumbly. And you put him and Christopher Nolan together. Christopher Nolan has very difficult sound mixing issues. Jason and I were just watching The Prestige again the other
Yeah.
night. The first 20 minutes, I'm like, is our TV broken? He's like, no. The sound mix is terrible on these. And it's like up and down and up and down. Michael Caine is whispering the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy, I love me some Tom Hardy. I just watched The Warrior last night because sometimes
So good.
I watch things.
It's just Warrior,
I'm
but
like,
it's good.
What did I say? The Warrior?
I know, I'm kidding.
always say The Warrior. Like the Jewel.
Did you cry at the end?
Always. I'm always crying.
Yeah.
Because it's like dad stuff,
Yeah.
brother stuff, although I'm not, sister stuff. Same
Yeah.
deal. It's like, we don't know how to fight
What's
each
it?
other. We need to take care
It's
of
okay,
each
Tommy.
other.
Tap out.
Tap out, Timmy. I love you. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I'm
And that
squishy.
song,
I don't remember the song.
The National. That's how I found out about The National was because
National, I
of
love The
that.
National.
That movie is the
Also,
movie.
brother stuff. Did you watch the documentary
No, I
about The
wanted to.
National?
There's some brother stuff in there. I know his brother directed
A
it.
lot
Yes.
of brother stuff.
Really?
And he's kind of like a screw up, but is he?
The one that's doing the film?
Yeah, the one that's the brother that's not famous.
Yeah. What's it called? I'm Not Famous?
No.
It's
That's
something
it.
close to that, isn't it?
I don't remember what it's called. National Brothers. National Franks? Hot dogs? National
Yes,
Hebrew Franks. That's
yes,
what it's called.
That's what it's called.
I love those hot dogs.
Yeah, Warrior. Oh man, Nick Nolte is such a good actor in that movie.
So good. I mean, I don't think it was. I mean, I don't know him personally, but his history. I believe him a lot in that movie.
Yeah,
'Cause
he's working out some demons himself in that movie.
Yeah, and not to make it about me because ego, but I have a role that I wrote, like a dad role and a grandpa role in my script, and I'm like Brian Dennehy, Nick Nolte, Ron Swanson, Nick Offerman would be really good, but I
Did you
think
see
he's
that
too
new movie
young.
anytime? Where he plays a dad?
Nick Offerman?
Yeah,
No.
from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he's
What's it called?
I don't know him and his daughter are in a band together. It's supposed to be. It just came out.
No, I didn't see it or the preview. I believe you though, Jonah.
Well, it's a real thing.
Well, I'm not lying, so you better.
Thanks for believing in me.
Should we get into this petals and pricks
I kind of just want to
recap?
talk about the Warrior now.